What's up guys, you're here with Alex from Social Freedom, and in today's quick tip video, I'm gonna teach you a cheeky little social hack that will give you the ability to gauge her levels of interest and figure out if she's most likely gonna say yes or potentially no if you were to invite her home with you, right? Using this little social hack will give you the ability to figure out this information indirectly, subtly, without any risk of potential rejection, right? Now, we've all been in a scenario where we've been on a date, or maybe we've been in an interaction at a nightclub. We've met these amazing girls, there's crazy chemistry, you have a genuine connection. You find yourself at the end of the interaction where it's time to start thinking about seeding the idea of going home together. But maybe you're just a little nervous. Maybe you don't have complete confidence that if you were to ask her to come home with you, she'd say yes. Okay, or alternatively, maybe you feel in this moment, if you were to invite her home with you, she could potentially say no, right? Using this little social hack will give you the ability to gauge her levels of interest and figure out if you should actually pull the trigger, just go for it and invite her home right there and then, or alternatively, using the social hack, find out if maybe she has some potential concerns, she's most likely gonna say no. You can then take a step back, figure out what's missing in the interaction, move things forward a little later, use this social hack again, and then move things forward from there. Okay, let's just jump straight into it. So again, you find yourself at the end of the date or at the end of a night, and you now know at this time of the interaction, it's probably a good time to start seeding the idea of going home together. But again, you're not exactly sure if she's gonna say yes or she's potentially gonna say no. So this is all you have to do, all right? I want you to find a gap in the conversation, all right? I want you to build a little bit of tension. Hold strong eye contact, cheeky little smile, change your tonality slightly. So it's just speaking a little slower, okay? With a slight man to woman or seductive tonality to it, if you will. All right, so it subtly implies that you could potentially be inviting her home. And then all I want you to do is say this. 1 out of 10, right now, how spontaneous are you feeling? Okay, that's literally all you have to say. Now, depending on her response, is what we'll do next. So in scenario number 1, let's say she gives you a number, anything over 5 or 6. Okay, so she responds with like, oh, I don't know, like a 6 or a 7. All right, from here, this is a pretty strong indicator that if you were to invite her home with you, she's most likely gonna say yes. Potentially at a 6 or a 7, she may have like one concern, or maybe she might have some logistical issues that you might have to overcome, okay, and help her through the process of going home with you. But that's still sweet. She's still letting you know that like, if you invite me home, buddy, I'm most likely gonna say yes, which is sweet. Now, alternatively, in scenario 1, maybe she responds with like an 8 or a 9, or maybe even a 10. Ding, 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 ding. If she responds with an 8, 9, or a 10, this is a good sign that if you invite her home, she's pretty much ready to go, all right? And if this is the case, then this is how she'll usually respond, right? So again, you say like, hey, look, 1 out of 10 right now. How spontaneous are you feeling? She's like, oh, like an 8. Why is that? They'll always usually ask why. And it's so simple. From here, all you have to do is just invite her home. Say like, look, I'm really enjoying your company and I live like 5-10 minutes from here. Do you want to come back to mine for a drink? Literally that simple. And because she's giving you a number above 5 or 6, okay, good chance she's gonna say yes. And when she does, all you have to do is pull that trigger, lead, and take her home from there, all right? Now, alternatively, in scenario number 2, if you sit there and you use this little social hack again, and you just say like, look, hey, listen, 1 out of 10, how spontaneous are you feeling right now? And she responds with something below 5, maybe a 3 or a 4, and she responds with like, I don't know, 3 or a 4 maybe. Why? Why is that? Why are you asking? All you have to do from here is calibrate, right? Take a step back and think to yourself, okay, cool, right now in this moment, if I was to invite her home with me, she's most likely not gonna say yes. So what I recommend that you do is you take a step back, you figure out what could potentially be missing in the interaction. Maybe it's not enough attraction. Maybe it's not enough comfort. Maybe there's not enough arousal. Potentially, you need to preemptively deal with some potential limiting beliefs. There's a variety of different things that could be holding her back from feeling a little bit more spontaneous. and potentially coming home with you. So in this scenario, all you have to say from here is like, I don't know, I was just curious to see if you wanted to maybe change up the scenery. She's like, oh, what did you have in mind? From here, if you're on a date, you could potentially just move locations. Maybe go for ice cream, for food, change bars. Maybe you could go to a park. Just move the interaction forward in a different way instead of actually going for that big move and inviting her home. Right? If it's in a nightclub, you're like, I just wanted to see if you want to change the scenery. She's like, oh, what did you have in mind? All you have to do from here is maybe move to the smoking area. Maybe you want to go to the bar, maybe go to the lounge. Just move the interaction forward, but take this time when you do move things forward to sit back and figure out what could potentially be missing. All right? Maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes into the interaction after you've done this, then you can go again. Hey, I'm curious. 1 out of 10. How spontaneous are you feeling right now? Hopefully from this point, you figured out exactly what was missing in the interaction. And then she responds with like, I don't know, like a 5 or a 6. Sweet. You've now figured out what was potentially wrong. And now you can go to potentially inviting her home. Now I need you guys to understand that this little social hack isn't a flawless system. Right? There's been plenty of times where I've met girls and I've asked them how spontaneous they're feeling. They've given me a number above 5. And I've asked them to come home with me and they've politely declined, all right? Same goes to the other scenario where I've met girls where, again, I've asked them how spontaneous they're feeling. They've given me a number below 5, but yet for some reason in that particular interaction, I thought, fuck it, I'll invite her to come home with me anyway. And they've actually said yes. Okay, so this is not as simple as it being black or white. All this is giving you the ability to subtly gauge her interest and figure out if she's more likely to say yes or if she's more likely to say no. It just takes away that risk of potential rejection. But the biggest thing that I want you to understand about inviting girls to come home with you, the most important thing, the fundamental mindset that we teach here at Social Freedom is, in the end, just go for it, okay? Maybe it's the end of the interaction and, you know, again, maybe she's given you a number below 5 a couple of different times if you use this little social hack, maybe 2 or 3 times during the interaction, and she keeps giving you low numbers, right? I still want you to go for it. I still want you to invite her to come home with you. And same goes for the other scenario. If she's saying like high numbers, but yet she's still giving you a couple of concerns, I still want you to be persistent. I still want you to go for it. Because in the end, the most important thing is that you just go for it. You invite her to come home with you. You need to understand if you don't do this, whether it be in a nightclub environment, you could potentially never see her again. And on a date, you could potentially lose a lot of attraction and also never actually see her again. So the most important thing in the end of this entire video is just go for it. But now you have a cheeky little social hack that you can use, you can start implementing, and I guarantee you'll start to see crazy results. Quick little caveat to this hack as well, something that both myself and Ben have found, is that this works extremely well on the party girls. All right, so let's say you're at a nightclub environment and you meet a girl that's just giving you huge amounts of interest. She seems very attractive. You've only spent maybe 5 or 10 minutes with her. And you're thinking to yourself, like, I wonder if I could take her home right here, right now. Or do I have to potentially run through like the 6-step structure that we teach here at Social Freedom? Well, we've found that 10 minutes into the interaction, if she's giving you a lot of signs of interest, you can pretty much just go, hey, I'm curious. 1 out of 10 right now, how spontaneous are you feeling? And with these party girls, a lot of the times they're gonna be like, I don't know, a 9. You can literally just go for it, pull the trigger and actually take these types of girls home very quickly. So if you are the types of guys that are looking for girls that are a little bit more promiscuous, a little bit more party goers, looking for a bit of fun, looking for those hookups, you can also use this for those types of girls as well. Cool. Hope you guys have enjoyed this quick tip video. I can't wait to see you on the next one, and I'll see you guys soon.